What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown, the Way Report, and NextGenHeights.com. And it is Thursday, March the 5th, 2026, 7:25 a.m. Central. Guys, yesterday, this chat had one word on repeat: bifurcation. Y'all like when I use that word, and you all already see the split. Today, we confirm it with hard numbers. Here is what landed overnight. Broadcom just told Wall Street that AI chip revenue is going to top $100 billion by 2027. $100 billion from chips alone. And then the first big investor in OpenAI, Vinod Khosla, said something every ladder climber in this chat needs to hear. He said 80% of jobs will be done by AI by the early 2030s. He said today's 5-year-olds, if you got kids that's 5 years old, 6-year-olds, he said today's 5-year-olds probably won't need a job. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to show you the data, because here is what he did not tell you. Somebody still has to build the $100 billion pipeline. Somebody still has to run the AI systems. Somebody still has to manage what AI gets wrong. The question is not whether the economy is splitting. The question is, which side are you positioning yourself to be on? Today, we have a very packed show today. We're going to be talking about the Broadcom earnings, the ADP jobs report, the 15% tariff confirmation, the junior engineer skill shift, 2 case studies that will change how you think about your next move, and a full opportunity audit. Okay? It's going to be a full opportunity audit. I want you guys to type signal in the chat right now if you guys are locked in. And while you're typing signal in the chat, go ahead and hit the like button. Okay? Guys, this is the Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. Let's look at the data, okay? But before we look at the data, I got to say what's up to my peoples in the house. Who's in the house? Topaz is in the house. Big Suggs is in the house. Good to see you, LaTanya Sims. Good to see you, Gifty. Good to see you, AOC. Good to see you, Iron Wolf. Good to see you, the Resilient Analyst. I love it. Good to see you, LaTanya. Good to see you, Douglas Robinson. All you guys are in the house today. Douglas Robinson says, guys, you guys do better with the likes. He says, do better with the likes, y'all. Y'all better do better today. SPN 187 is in the house. STI is in the house. All you guys are in the house. We're going to have a fantastic show this morning. Thank you for being here. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the data, okay? Let's dive into the data. Let us start with the biggest market signal of this entire earnings season. Last night, Broadcom, they reported their first quarter results for fiscal year 2026. And here are the numbers. Revenue, $19.3 billion, up 29% year over year. AI semiconductor revenue, $8.4 billion, up 106% year over year. That is more than double in a single quarter. But here's what stopped Wall Street cold. The CEO, Hock Tan, got on the earnings call last night and said this, quote, today, we have line of sight to achieve AI revenue from chips, just chips, in excess of $100 billion in 2027. $100 billion from chips alone by 2027. Guess what the stock did, guys? That's some really good guidance right there, isn't it? The stock surged 7% in pre-market this morning. Broadcom's market cap is now $1.51 trillion. Type 100B in the chat if you understand what that number means for the market. Now, let me show you why this matters for your career. Okay, let me show you why this matters for your career. Broadcom is not building chips for everybody. They are building custom chips for 6 specific companies: Google, Meta, Anthropic, OpenAI, Fujitsu, and ByteDance. These are the companies building the AI backbone of the next decade, and Broadcom is the infrastructure all of them need. Broadcom is the infrastructure beneath all of them. Here's what that tells the analysts. Anthropic alone placed orders representing 3 gigawatts of computing power demand by 2027. OpenAI is deploying over 1 gigawatt of chips that same year. This is not a prediction anymore, guys. This is a confirmed pipeline. I want you guys to listen in on the earnings results from yesterday on CNBC. Take a look at this.
Broadcom earnings are out. Christina Parts-Nevels has got those numbers. Christina.
We're seeing a beat on the top and bottom line. For earnings per share, about a 2-cent beat at $2.05. They did post record revenues of $19.31 billion. For their Q1 EBITDA, it's coming in also higher. Semiconductor revenue in the quarter came in higher. Their infrastructure software fell a little bit light at $6.8 billion. The street was expecting about $7 billion. Now for the Q2 revenue guide, beating what sell-side guys wanted, also beating buy-side expectations, coming in at $22 billion. Another key metric for this company is AI revenue. So in the quarter, they booked about $8.4 billion in AI revenue. In the release, they're saying they're going to hit 10.7, I should say, in Q2. So we're seeing some AI revenue growth. And they did also announce a new $10 billion share buyback program. You can see shares, though, really pretty much flat, not really reacting. We're going to be waiting to hear more about that AI revenue backlog. Last quarter, it fell in line. The stock dropped because it just wasn't good enough. So I guess we're going to get a lot more on the call in terms of all of this AI momentum, specifically for Broadcom and any type of diversification with customers as well. Okay.
Now, let me connect this directly to the labor market. Okay. Broadcom's AI semiconductor revenue grew 106% last quarter. Broadcom's legacy infrastructure software grew 1%. 106 versus 1. That is the split, guys. Inside a single company, inside a single earnings report, AI hardware is exploding. Generic enterprise software is compressing. Now, let me tell you what Broadcom is actually hiring for right now. ASIC design automation engineers, $147,000 to $235,000 base salary. AI software engineers, $108,000 to $172,000 base salary. Principal ASIC design engineers in San Jose, $157,000 base, plus $225,000 in stock, plus $39,000 in bonus. These are real posted roles right now. The skills getting more valuable: custom chip design, AI networking architecture, power electronics, data center infrastructure, semiconductor supply chain management. The skills getting less valuable: generic enterprise software, basic IT administration, standard SaaS implementation. This week's action: if you are in hardware engineering, semiconductor design, or networking, update your LinkedIn with AI adjacent keywords this week. The talent demand at Broadcom and their entire supply chain exceeds the talent pool right now. And one more signal before we move. Amazon, they just cut jobs inside its robotics division this week. Same week, they are projecting $200 billion in capital expenditures for 2026, fueled by AI data centers. The VP called the robotics cuts, quote, difficult but necessary, while calling robotics a strange priority, cutting human roles while investing in $200 billion in the machines that replace them. That is the economy we are operating in right now. Okay? That is the AI infrastructure story. Now, let me show you what is happening to the labor market at the exact same time. Stay with me on this next segment, okay? ADP. They dropped the February private sector jobs report on yesterday. And here are the numbers. 63,000 private sector jobs added in February. Best month since July 2025. That sounds pretty good, right? Sounds like good news. Until you see what is underneath it. January was revised down from 22,000 to 11,000. The January recovery was a mirage. Now here's where it gets real for this chat, okay? Professional and business services lost 30,000 jobs in 1 month. That's consulting. That's marketing. That's staffing. That's corporate operations. 31,000 gone in February alone. I want you guys to type split in the chat if your sector is feeling this right now. Now here's the other side of that split. Education and health services, plus 58,000. Construction, plus 19,000. And here's a number that changes everything about the geographic story. The South added 37,000 jobs. Texas alone carried most of it. The Midwest lost 4,000. Small businesses, companies with fewer than 20 employees, added 58,000 of the 63,000 total new jobs. Let me say that again. Small businesses created almost every single new job in America last month, not large corporations. That's a good thing in some aspects of it, because we've seen the small businesses back in November contracting. Let's go to the private data report on CNBC. Listen in on this, guys.
ADP private payroll data is out, showing a jump in February. Private employment was up 63,000. That beat the street estimate of 48,000 for the best month for job gains since July of last year. Education and health services, along with construction, led the growth. The biggest laggards were professional and business services and manufacturing. Joining us right now is ADP's chief economist, Neela Richardson. Neela, thanks for being with us. The numbers were better than the street was expecting. Did it surprise you, too?
Hi, good morning, Becky. And no, it didn't surprise us. We've been tracking with our new NER Pulse Index this on a weekly basis, and we publish this data on a weekly basis as well. And if people were paying attention, they would have noted that gains had been increasing over the past 4 weeks. And so when we saw the 63,000 number, that was consistent with that steady increase in job gains. And I'd like to pull out where the gains were coming from this month, which is really important. It was in construction on the good side, so it's a bit more balanced than we're used to seeing, and in healthcare, which has been now the new stalwart, and from small businesses. In fact, very small businesses, 1 to 19 created 58,000 of those job gains. So
think about that, guys. 1 to 19 small businesses. These are the new startups. Think about this for a second. These are the startups. These are the people who are leaving corporate America or getting pushed out of corporate America potentially and starting their own businesses. These are the people who are using Vibe Code to create their next big idea. Potentially. That's what my brain says that these people are. That's the smallest or the largest group that's gaining jobs right now, 1 to 19. I think the data is kind of telling me this. What do you guys think in the chats? Let me know.
I think this report was consistent with that steady increase we've been seeing through the month.
I like Neelam. ADP analyst always comes on, keeps the facts, and tells it like it is. Now, here's the number that should change your strategy immediately. The pay premium, okay? The pay premium for switching jobs just hit a record low, 6.3%. That means if you leave your current job for a new one right now, you are only getting 6.3% more. That is the lowest that number has ever been. The market is not rewarding people who jump ship right now. The market is not rewarding people who go to a new company thinking they're going to get a whole bunch more money and get that nice raise, 20%, 30%. It's not happening unless they are jumping into a high demand field. This is not the time to move just to move. This is the time to position yourself, then move strategically. Now, the ISM services PMI dropped yesterday too. And this one tells a completely different story. The reading came in at 56.1. The estimate was 53.5, a massive beat. Highest reading since July 2022. The services economy, which employs about 80% of Americans, is accelerating. But here's the thing. The growth is concentrated in healthcare, in education, in construction. The services economy is growing, but it is growing in specific lanes, not everywhere. And tomorrow morning, the BLS February jobs report drops at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, we're going to cover the jobs report. We may do it live. We may do it on Monday. I'm going to try to give you a little bit of insights on what is going on there. Maybe you can do it yourself and help me out in the chat. We're all a team here, okay? But here's what Wall Street is expecting. Non-farm payrolls anywhere from 10,000 to 104,000. That is the widest forecast range that we have seen in months. Wells Fargo is calling just 25,000. Goldman estimates a 10,000 job drag just from the federal workforce cuts. Unemployment expected at 4.3%. I'll try to do my best to have a live breakdown on tomorrow morning. Okay? Be here. Set your alarm. 7:25 a.m. Central. If this jobs data is hitting you different today, if you see what I see in these numbers, make sure you hit the like button and do it right now. And if you are new here and you're consuming our content, guess what? 60% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This is a daily climb on the Way Report channel. Subscribe. That helps us grow. We are here every weekday morning, 7:25 a.m., breaking this down before the rest of the world even wakes up. Okay? This is the labor market picture. Now, let me show you the economic force that is pressuring everything that we just covered. All right. Stay with me on this next segment. Told you guys it's going to be a good show today. I saw this data this morning. I was like, I'm ready for the show. This is nice. Now, here's the development that landed on Wednesday. And it directly affects every business and every paycheck in this country. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed the 15% global tariff takes effect this week. This replaces the temporary 10% tariff after the Supreme Court struck down the original emergency tariffs. Bessent said he believes tariff rates return to pre-Supreme Court levels within 5 months through national security and unfair trade authority. So here is where we stand right now. Oil is above $82 a barrel. Gas nationally is $3.12 a gallon, up from $2.94 just 3 days ago. And a Nobel Prize winning economist said this about the combination of Iran conflict and the tariffs. Quote, there are many stresses on our economy, and this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. a straw that becomes heavier the longer the war goes on. Now, as an analyst here who looks at the data, I'm not predicting a recession. The analyst does not do that. But what I am doing is showing you what the signals say. I want you guys to type oil in the chat if you are in the energy space or the logistics space or the transportation space. Okay, type oil in the chat. I want to share with you a video. Okay, check this out.
War is expensive, especially in the Middle East. Last year's bombing campaign in Yemen cost somewhere between $3 and $5 billion, according to estimates from Harvard's Kennedy School. The June strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities cost about $2 billion. And with no clear exit strategy for what is currently happening in Iran, the costs of this war will likely dwarf anything we've seen in a long time. So it is fair to consider, as Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman has, what else could be done with that money. Paul Krugman joins me now. Really good to have you.
Good to be on.
All right, so what else could we spend that money on?
Okay, I mean, the motivating example I like is, three jets were shot down in a friendly fire incident over Kuwait. So it's three jets. What's that? But that's about $300 million just right there. Now, it turns out that we have a lot of children in the United States have health coverage provided by the CHIP program, Children's Health Insurance Program, which costs about $3,000 per child. So just those three jets is the cost of health care for 100,000 children over the course of a year. It's the cost of food stamps for about 125,000 people for a year. So if you compare the fundamental social safety net programs, especially for children, with the cost of even a really, in the scope of war, a relatively minor incident, it's gigantic. And of course, that was a small fraction. It's quite possible. It's quite easy to imagine that Kuwait incident is going to be 1% of the total cost of this war.
Economists are saying that, hey, you know what? Instead of us going to war, we could be using that money to take care of our own people over here. Now, he didn't say anything about if we didn't go to war, if we were going to continue to be protected around the world. But he's absolutely right. No war. People over here in the United States taken care of. Get the money. Okay. Here's what the tariffs plus oil plus the Iran conflict means together for your career. Inflation stays sticky. The Fed cannot cut rates in March. Probably not in May either. High rates means companies stay cautious on hiring. They keep lean teams. They stretch existing staff. They push productivity before they push headcount. But, and this is critical, 5 sectors are operating on their own trajectory. They do not care what the Fed does. They are hiring because the demand is structural. AI infrastructure, defense, healthcare, energy, construction. If you are in Texas, in Louisiana, or the Gulf Coast, the energy sector is hiring right now. Petroleum engineers at $111,000 median, plus up to $35,000 in bonus. Crude oil drivers at $285 to $325 a day. If you are not in energy, here's the macro takeaway. The 15% tariff hits consumer prices, which squeezes household budgets, which means workers need to earn more, which means your skills need to be in a sector that can pay more. Those 5 sectors I just named can pay more right now. All right. That is the economic squeeze. Now, let me show you the skill story, because this is the one that determines which side of the split that you end up on. Stay with me on this next segment. All right. Told you guys it was going to be a good show. I want to start this segment with a number from Indeed. Total job postings in the United States, only 6% above pre-pandemic levels. Job postings that mention AI, 134% above pre-pandemic levels. The overall job market is basically flat. The AI skills job market is exploding. Type skills in the chat right now if you are actively building new skills this year, this month. Type skills in the chat. Now, let me tell you what is happening to the people actually doing the work. Business Insider, my favorite news, online news channel or news website. They ran a story this morning about what is happening to junior engineers in the AI era. A 23-year-old software engineer started his career a few months ago. He said a few years ago, he would have spent most of his day formatting code, writing documentation, basic tasks. Today, he spends most of his day using AI as a research assistant, understanding business strategy, system architecture, scaling, security risks. Those used to be senior engineer tasks in a lot of the jobs of the security team to understand the security risk. Now, this is the job of a junior and entry-level engineer because they have the tools to do the research. He said, quote, as a junior dev, you have never gotten a bigger bang for your buck. Okay? You have never gotten a bigger bang for your buck. I want to play a video for you guys on just how the reshaping of software engineering is happening across companies. Listen to this.
We view generative AI as a classically disruptive force in, the Clayton Christensen innovator's dilemma sense. We feel we're only the very, very start of how it's going to be impacting engineering. And because we feel this is going to profoundly change the way software consulting, like what Lineate does, is performed, we have mandated inside our company to use AI at every step of the development process. And so we've come up with a list of, 14 key pieces of how a software engineering firm like ours, which is really a product leadership. We're not just putting in software bodies. We're a product leadership software engineering firm here at Lineate. And we have identified the 5 key ones we want to start with. Of those 5, the ones where we've really had the most benefit and the most success are AI enhanced coding, which, a lot of people talk about GitHub Copilot, but we do it in a specific way where we have essentially put every engineer using this ends up becoming essentially a team lead overseeing AI coders as well as their own code. And we've seen dramatic improvement when used properly. We've also seen sort of more junior engineers generate a lot of problematic stuff, but this was the learning experience. When used properly, we've been able to see dramatic increase in getting features or releases out the door, especially in areas that may have required in the past different people with different kinds of specialties. It sort of makes everyone more of a full stack engineer.
Here's the other side of that story. A senior engineer said he is seeing code submissions jump from 500 lines to over 1,000. And workers are adding complexity they do not even understand. You heard him just talking about it. Some of the junior engineers can be putting some problematic code out there. He said, quote, it is literally just pollution. So here's what the data is saying. AI is not just changing what junior engineers do. It is revealing who actually understands the work and who just is executing tasks. Google's VP of Developer Experience said this, quote, you do not need to ask for anybody's permission to do something significant and meaningful. Just put together a cool app and post it on a website. Don't ask for permission. Don't ask for it. Just go and do it. The BCG chief AI officer said the value of an engineer is shifting from perfecting syntax to defining problems and architecting solutions. Things are changing, and things are changing fast. Here's what this means for every ladder climber in this chat. Regardless of what field you are in, the skills getting more valuable in 2026: problem definition, system thinking, business context, AI tool orchestration, domain expertise combined with technical fluency. Yesterday, I sat in Lieutenant Cam's AI vibe coding session, and he asked the ladder climbers who were on the call to describe a problem. And if you listen to what is important in what I just said, problem definition, understanding the problem that you're trying to solve, understanding the system, taking the basic steps. I was on a call yesterday with Aisha, one of our ladder climbers as well. And that was one of the questions I asked her. What are you trying to solve? Not the process that you're going through. What are you trying to solve? Describe the problem to me like I'm a 5-year-old. If you can understand, if you can describe it, then you understand it. Now you can start building the systems behind it. So we went back and revamped some of the things that she was doing, and we're taking it one step at a time. I'm going to call her today, and we're going to go through the rest of it to make sure that it's working. But it's the system thinking. It's the understanding the business context. What is it that you're trying to do? These are all important. And then AI tool orchestration. Once you understand that process, and then you can get the tools to do what you need it to do once you understand the process. And domain expertise combined with technical fluency. Those are the skills that are valuable, guys. The skills getting less valuable is executing repetitive tasks without understanding why. Following templates without the judgment to know when to break them. Waiting to be told what to do. Those skills are less valuable now. You have the skills and the tools to go out there and do whatever you want. And here's what the Claude outage this week confirmed, because you guys remember I was on the show, I think it was on Monday morning, and I was talking to you guys about the Claude outage, right? I was able to get through my show prep before it actually went down, but there was an outage on Monday. Here's what it taught, and it confirmed this week. Developers at Meta, at Netflix, at Salesforce, when Claude went down this week, a senior engineer at Meta said he shifted away from coding entirely because it felt slower to work without the AI. One developer posted online, quote, "I guess I will write code like a caveman." That is a career risk signal. If you cannot function without the tool, you do not own the skill. The tool does. The professionals who survive this shift understand the work deeply enough to use the tool strategically, not as a crutch. All right? That is the skills picture, guys. Now, let me show you two people who saw this coming and made their move before the market made it for them. Stay with me on this next segment. Case studies. I got two case studies for you guys today. Both of them confirm something for this community and what I've been saying for months. The market is neutral. It does not care about your loyalty. It does not care about your tenure. It rewards leverage, and it rewards people who position themselves early. Case study number one. Okay. He is a machine learning engineer. He worked for Block, at the company who just laid off 4,000 people. The payments company, formerly known as Square. Here's the twist. This engineer spent years building systems that automated other people's jobs. He built fraud detection models that reduced the need for humans to review transactions. And then last week, he was laid off as part of Block's cut of more than 4,000 employees. He said this to Business Insider, quote, "I do feel a little bit like a horse in a buggy in the age of the automobile." I want you guys to type pivot in the chat if that line hits you right now. Type pivot in the chat. Okay? I want to share a video with you real quick.
17%. The payments company, Jack Dorsey's company, of course, announced it's going to cut 40% of the workforce. And Dorsey says intelligence tools are, quote, fundamentally changing how to run a company. Dan Howley joining me now to chat more about this. I mean, this is just an incredible move. He talked about the company going from 10,000 people to 6,000 people in one fell swoop. And Dan, I think, there are several different layers to the story. There's sort of like Block itself and what this means for the company. But there's also, of course, the bigger story about, like, is this what a lot of different companies are going to be doing? I think Jack Dorsey, it's fair to say, is a pretty unique CEO, right? So I don't know that, sort of more conventional CEOs, to put it that way, are going to be doing this. But let's take Block itself first, right? And why it feels like it can do this kind of a big move.
Yeah, Jack Dorsey, weird guy. I think most people can probably agree to that. They're saying that it's not an issue with profitability or anything like that, that they're seeing profitability improve. And overall, the business is strong. Cold comfort to the folks who are getting laid off because of AI. And he says in his note to employees, and he posted on X a different note, that he's grateful for what they've done, and that there's severance, 20-week severance.
They're getting decent severance here, to be fair. They're allowed to stay on their Slack channels for a few more days to say goodbye to people, which is a different thing than we've seen from other types of layoffs recently.
Sure, yeah, keep Slack open. You could shut Slack off from me forever if I could keep my job. That's I think the big thing, right? Yeah. So, but it is kind of a move where I think, he says that they may end up regretting this.
Here's what the CEO said. Within the next year, I believe the majority of companies will reach the same conclusion and make similar structural changes. That is not a company announcement. That is a market forecast. And here's the lesson. The question is not whether your role can be automated. The question is whether you have positioned yourself with enough skills, enough domain knowledge, enough human judgment that you are always on the valuable side of that automation. Now, case study number 2. A completely different story. A young lady became a GS-15 at 28 years old. For those who don't know what GS-15s are, GS-15 is the highest civilian leadership rank in the federal government. She hit that ceiling before she turned 30. She told Business Insider, quote, "I had already reached that plateau. I was really looking for what the next challenge would be." Then in 2018, the first furlough hit. 6 weeks, no work, no certainty. She did not waste that time. She used those 6 weeks to take real estate and interior design courses. She said, "I did not want to be caught flat-footed." By 34, she founded an interior design firm. Today, her company has designed premium suites at a professional football stadium and premium suites, commercial real estate projects across the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, residential spaces for professional athletes and music executives, and won more than 25 industry awards. Here's what the analyst hears in her story. She did not wait for the market to take her job. She saw the signal, a 6-week furlough, and used it to build career insurance. 300 And 50,000 federal workers have now left the federal payroll since January of 2025. A 10% reduction in civilian workforce. If she had waited, she would have been one of the 350,000 people competing for the same private sector jobs at the exact same time. She moved first. And that is the only move that matters right now. The market is not going to warn you. The data does. All right? Let me show you exactly what to do with all this intelligence. Stay with me, okay? Here's the framework I want you to leave with today. The economy is running in 3 lanes right now. Lane 1, AI infrastructure. Broadcom just confirmed $100 billion. Big tech is collectively investing $700 billion in AI data centers this year. Custom chip demand is exceeding the talent supply. If you touch this lane, you are in the right place. You are living good. You are taking your family on vacations. You are enjoying the beaches. You are making all kinds of money, and the economy doesn't mean anything to you. You're in premium economy. Lane 2, energy and defense. Oil above $82. 15% tariffs confirmed. Energy jobs live right now across the Gulf Coast in Texas. Lane 3, white collar compression. Professional services shed 30,000 jobs in 1 month. The job changer premium is at a record low. Generic knowledge work is being automated. The question is not which lane exists. They all exist. The question is, which lane are you positioning yourself for? Okay? That's the question. Which lane are you positioning yourself for? Lane 1, AI infrastructure. Lane 2, energy and defense, construction. Lane 3, white collar compression. Many of us are in white collar. What is it that you're going to do? The signals, the data is there. The young lady's story, the case study that we just talked about, is a classic example of what you should be doing, building career insurance now. Here's where the strategy meets your situation. The professionals in this community who are surviving 2026 are not waiting for someone to hand them a plan. They are building career insurance right now. The 2026 Career Protection Playbook gives you 4 specific things. First, your AI automation risk zone, so you know exactly where you stand right now. Second, the 5 skills that actually matter in 2026, not the ones people are guessing about, the ones the data confirms. Third, a 30-day quick start action plan, step-by-step, no guesswork. Fourth, a weekend action plan with 5 specific moves you can make right now. Plus the daily climb newsletter sent to you Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Central. The market intelligence from this show is delivered straight into your inbox. The professionals who survive 2026 are not waiting for permission. They are building career insurance right now. Link is in the description. Grab the playbook. It is completely free. Now, if you want to go beyond the playbook, everything that we've covered today, the skills, the shift, the case studies, the labor market shift, the opportunity audit, the playbook shows you what to do. The Career Accelerator 90 is making sure that you actually do the work. Some of you guys just need somebody to hold you accountable, teams to hold you accountable. That gym buddy. The Career Accelerator 90 is exactly that. It's a 12-week live coaching program, small group, maximum of 12 people, weekly Saturday calls at 10 a.m. Central, private community, more than 30 templates and AI execution tools. This cohort starts March the 14th. If that GS15 story hit you today, if the machine learning engineer story hit you today, then you already know. Waiting is the strategy that does not work anymore. $997 for the beta cohort. nextgenheights.com/accelerator. Link is in the description. Okay. And if you want the full community behind you every single day, join the Heights Inner Circle on Patreon. Patreon.com/Black Heights. This community keeps building even after the streams end. Last night, while most people were on Netflix, somebody inside the community ran a live building session. Lieutenant Cam, teaching others how to build real apps with AI from scratch. No coding experience needed. This is what ladder climbers do. Link is in the description. Okay? Let me bring this home. Here are 3 takeaways from today. Listen to me and listen to me clear, guys. Takeaway number 1. The AI infrastructure boom is confirmed. It is not predicted. It is confirmed. The data has been telling us this for a very long time. Broadcom's $100 billion pipeline has 6 customers. Google, Meta, Anthropic, OpenAI, Fujitsu, and ByteDance. The talent that builds and maintains this infrastructure is in demand right now. If your skills do not touch AI infrastructure, your number 1 job this week is to start building a bridge. Takeaway number 2. The white collar compression is already confirmed. 30,000 professional services jobs gone in February alone. The job changer premium is at an all-time low. This is not the time to jump. This is the time to position yourself. Skill up, then move strategically in a lane with structural demand. Takeaway number 3. The 15% tariff plus oil above 82 means the Fed is stuck. Companies stay lean. Hiring stays cautious, except in 5 sectors: AI infrastructure, defense, healthcare, energy, and construction. If you are not in one of those 5, start mapping your transferable skills right now. Tomorrow morning, the BLS February jobs report drops at 8:30 Eastern. The forecast range is the widest we have seen in months. Wells Fargo is calling just 25,000. I will have the live breakdown tomorrow, and you will help me with that data. Set your alarm, 7:25 a.m. Central. Be here. If the day has helped you see the market differently, if the Broadcom data hit, if the 2 case studies hit, share this with someone who needs to hear it right now. And do me a favor. You all are watching this right now. Hit the like button. Should be over 100 likes on this video. Also, 60 to 70% of you all are not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the Daily Climb. Subscribe to the Wave Report. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We are here every single weekday morning building with you. And if you cannot catch the live show every morning, subscribe to the Daily Climb newsletter. Every weekday, you get a full breakdown on everything that we cover: the data, the stories, the strategies, the case studies, straight into your inbox. Link is in the description. And one more time, if you want the complete playbook, the full community, the frameworks, the accountability, join the Heights Inner Circle, patreon.com/Black Heights. Link is in the description. Yesterday, this chat, guess what it had? It had one word in it. That word was bifurcation. Today, we confirmed it with hard data. Now you know which side of the split you are on, and you know exactly what to do about it. Type climbing in the chat if you are setting your alarm for tomorrow's job report breakdown. Type it in the chat. Guys, this is the Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. Keep climbing. We're going to see you guys tomorrow, okay? Before I jump out of here, I got to jump on a report real quick before 8:30. Let me say what's up to my peoples. Good to see you, Big Subs. Go and have a fantastic day. Lieutenant Cam, always appreciate you. Douglas Robinson, good to see you. ARDS 7KC, good to see you. Life Lessons, good to see you. Life Lesson says, guess I'm signing up for the Patreon. Best money you'll spend, my man. And Mr. E. Smith is in the house. He was on the call last night. Topaz, good to see you. Gifty, good to see you. STI, good to see you. Derek Wee. Derek Wee coming to us from Thailand. Get to see him, my man. Oh, he's good. Darren Smitty. Andre Oliver. Andre Oliver is on the call last night too. Making it happen. Good to see you guys. Have a fantastic day. I got to get this report done. We will see you all tomorrow. We're going to talk about the jobs report, okay? Take care now.